Please subscribe to our channel by pressing the subscribe button and the bell icon to receive updates on new videos.
So I am here today to tell you about what we are going to show you in each episode. What are the segments that we are going to discuss in each episode. Every episode we have designed in such a way that it's a combination of 5 or more than 5 segments. What are they? Of course, this same order may not be followed, but I would like to tell you the segments. There will be conversation, story narration, then you would also find an inspirational incident from Grace's personality's life, or an anecdote, or a parable, grammar, and a quote for you to think over. Now I shall tell you individually about these segments. So first I had mentioned about conversation. So conversation is supposed to be between two people. They would come and discuss some issue before you. Then when they discuss, note down what are the points that they are discussing. You would have a story narration. A story would be narrated to you, and on the screen you find the scrolling coming up. Follow the scrolling and the narration. Try to learn the new vocabulary which is being used, the grammar, the structures, etc. Then another segment where either we would have inspirational incidents from great personalities' lives, or an anecdote or a parable which would be narrated to you. Once again the same point comes in. Observe the vocabulary that is being used, the structures, the grammar that is being used. And in another segment, we would directly discuss grammar for you, because grammar is the backbone of the language. So in the grammar, we would give the explanation for that topic. There will be some nice examples, the usage part, and also exercises which either would be in this episode or the next episode. Now sometimes these grammar issues also, they may not be completely discussed in one particular episode. Sometimes they may be carried over to the next episode and so on. And we would also show you one quote, one inspirational quotation. When that quote is shown, think about that quote, cogitate on it, try to understand and imbibe that idea and follow it in your life. So this is how we have made it a mixture of different things put together, and with the main aim, only one aim, that is learning of English. English is a language, and to learn the language you need to expose yourself to many things. So that's how we have designed these episodes, and I hope you will be able to learn the language quickly and easily. That's what each episode of our telecast would be giving you. Okay? So right away we shall get into the episode. Now we have some grammar for you.
Welcome to another episode of English Grammar. Today we're talking about some verbs. Mahinder, what did you do yesterday?
Ma'am, I went to my home, ma'am, yesterday,
Okay.
and I did enjoyed a lot with my father.
Okay. Alright. Yes. Santosh, what about you? What did you do? What are your plannings for tomorrow?
I wanted to visit to Tirupati.
Oh. Alright. Now see Mahinder, Santosh, I'm asking you what are your plans for tomorrow, and now you're saying I wanted to. So then when we say tomorrow, which indicates a future, we cannot make use of this verb wanted. Similarly Mahinder, when you want to say no, I was went, so this I was went kind of expression is wrong. You cannot say I was went. You simply have to say I went. And the second one, when I asked you, you say I did enjoyed with my father. So after did also we don't make use of verbs like this. So some errors are there.
Ma'am, what is the wrong with was went, ma'am? Because was is also past tense, went is also past.
Yes.
It always shows that it is past tense. I was
Right.
went to my home.
Hmm.
What's the wrong?
But when we say went doesn't need was. Was is a independent verb by itself. Okay, I will tell you. When we say verbs indicate action. Now these actions can be in various forms. You may talk about something what we do. Okay, verb means something what we do, like sit and stand, read, write, eat, sleep. These are verbs. Verbs can also talk about a state. State in the sense, I am a teacher, alright, you are a student, and he is your friend. So then they can talk about some kind of a state. Otherwise, verb also can talk about some kind of possession, what you have. Do you have a pen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I have.
Do you have a book? Right. I have a watch. So then verbs can be in different categories, and now how to make use of these categories, that we have to learn. And once we learn this, then we will not make errors like this, or then exactly we will know where and how to make use of the proper verbs. So today I will tell you something about these verbs. So we can say verbs of action: write, read, run. Verbs of state or maybe position. So then verbs of state position, then we have to make use of am, is, are. And then the third category of verbs, we can say possession. Alright, possession in the sense what we own, what belongs to us, what we own or what belongs to us. And then we can talk about this have and has. So under various categories, these are verbs, and we must know correctly where to make use of them and how we should not make an incorrect usage of these verbs. First we'll talk about the state and position verbs. State and position verbs, am, is, are.
Ma'am, one doubt, ma'am. What is the difference between the action verbs and state or position verbs, ma'am?
Now, I write. It means you will do this action of write. This action, this is what you will do or what you do. Now, when you say I am a student, is there any action here?
No.
Right?
There is
Does
no
it
action.
indicate any action?
No.
It only talks about your position. It talks about a state, who you are. Alright? It tells you who you are, and I am a student. Similarly, who am I?
You are a teacher.
Right, I am a teacher. If we talk about action, you are,
Student.
right, no, action.
Action.
So you are
Writing.
writing and I am
Teaching.
teaching. So then when you are writing and I am teaching, this is the action which we are doing. But when you are a student and I am a teacher, here no action is involved. That is what is the state and position. Alright, for example, this is a blackboard.
Okay.
Right, there is no action.
Okay.
We are saying only this is a blackboard. Alright, this is my marker. Fine, these are your books. So then here there is no action involved. We are just talking about what we have or what these things are. Alright, this is Ramakrishna Math. So this is a state. This is Ramakrishna Math, like that. So when we don't talk about actions, then we have to make use of these verbs. Okay.
Ma'am, one more doubt, ma'am. You said one sentence that you are teaching.
Yes.
In that statement also, are verb we are using.
Right, yes, I am coming to that. So in the state and position, am, is, are, they indicate present. And then we have was and were. These indicate past. So am, is, are talk about anything which is a state or position now in the present. Was, were indicate any state or position which was true in the past but not now. Okay. Now, for example, as I told you, You are students, I am a teacher. Now, do you remember any of your friends when you were in 10th?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, can you name anybody?
Satish.
Alright. Satish dash my classmate in 10th. So, Satish dash my classmate in 10th. Now, you are not in 10th class. Satish is not your classmate. So, then here and here, what do you think can we use? Present or past?
Past.
It will definitely take past because you are not in 10th class and no longer Satish is your classmate. Alright. And because Satish is singular also. So, then we will go with this was. Then we will say Satish was my classmate in 10th. Now you are in the same class, Santosh, you and Mahender. So now when you want to say Mahender, in the present, Mahender is my classmate, right? So then is my classmate is true now and was my classmate is no longer true, it was in the past.
Madam,
Okay?
I have doubt, madam.
Yes.
If plural comes, so we have to use verb.
Yes. Now we will go to that also. So now this am is are. Whenever you want to say am, the subject has to be I. It is always I am a teacher, alright. I am a faculty, alright. I am a mother of 2 children. So all whenever we say I, then we make use of this am. This is represents singular he, she and it. So whenever you say he, she and it, then you have to make use of is. For example,
He is a lawyer.
right, he is a lawyer. Yes, my brother.
My
What
brother,
is your brother?
he is a student.
Right, my brother is a student. Santosh, what is your sister?
My sister is purchasing
No, I'm not saying what is she doing. What is she?
She is
she
a
is a
homemaker.
student.
Right, she is a student. Is she married?
And she got
Right, then she is a housewife. So you can say she is married or she is a housewife. So then when we talk about singular,
But, madam, I have doubt, madam. She, even though she got married, still she is studying. Continue, she is studying.
and then also you can say she is a student. Yes. Now when we say are, then we refer to plural. For example, you and we and this they. So am is exclusively used for I. He, she, it represents is, and we, you, they, we represent by are, and everything is in the present tense. Alright, when we move to past tense, then was. Was is one past tense for I, he, she, and it. And were is a plural past tense of we, you, and they. So in the present and in the past. Anything which is applicable now or anything which was a state or position in the past.
Ma'am, a simple doubt, ma'am.
Yes.
Suppose a singular name which is Ravi, which takes which verb, ma'am?
Now, Ravi is a noun. What pronoun will you use for Ravi? If you want to use a pronoun for
He.
Ravi, very nice. He. Now, in the table, where is he?
Is.
Right.
Yes.
So then because Ravi is he, so then for Ravi we have to use he. So anything which is Sunita, Sunita will be she. She will be is.
Is.
Table. For table we would say
It.
it. It also will take
Is.
So or okay, so any name or any noun or pronoun which is singular, that is. Any noun pronoun which is plural, then it takes are. For example, Ravi and Sunita. Ravi is, Sunita is. But when we say Ravi and Sunita, 2 people, then it becomes
Plural.
are. Plural and are. Ravi and Sunita are.
In the past, we use verb.
Alright, so then this are in the past tense becomes were, and both this am and is have a common past tense, that is was. They don't have separate past tense here. Okay, so then where do we make use of this am, is, are, was and were? When you want to take a name of anything, we have to use this be form or this am, is, are. What is this?
Is a duster.
This is a duster.
duster.
So we are taking the name of the duster and then we are saying is a duster. Alright? Yes. What are these?
Fingers.
Right. Now are fingers. Names of these are fingers. So then because they are plural, we are saying are finger. So anything which is a name, we have to make use of this be form. Alright, then when we talk about age also, then we have to make use of any of this. How old are you?
I am 25.
Yes, so now I'm talking about your age and I'm asking how old are you? So then are you. How old is your mother? Your mother means she is singular. How old is your mother? Right, she is 45. So then mother is singular, then we are using this is. Then qualification. When you want to ask somebody's qualification, alright, or when you want to know what somebody has studied, then we also may ask questions and then we can make use of these verbs. Now can you ask me a question about qualification?
What is your qualification?
Very nice. What is your qualification? Then I can say I is a postgraduate. Is it right? I is a postgraduate?
No.
No. Why is it wrong?
I takes am is
Yes,
helping
I
verb.
takes am. I cannot say I is. So I am a postgraduate. Like this, we can talk about qualification.
Ma'am, small doubt, ma'am.
Yes.
In the age category, can I say my mother age is 45 years old?
Right. Mahinder, now there are some errors in this sentence. Alright. First of all, my mother age. Whenever we want to use a structure like this, we need an apostrophe s. First of all, my mother's age. Alright. Now when you want to say my friend name, can you say my friend name?
No, my
Right.
friend's name.
Very nice. My friend's
Friend's
name.
name.
My father name.
No, my father's name.
My father's name. My teacher name.
No,
My teacher's name. So the first error is this. Whenever you want to talk about some possession, then you have to use this. Now, then my mother's age is 45 years old. Now this word age and this old, you shouldn't use together in a sentence. Either you have to use this or you have to use that, but you shouldn't use both. So either you can say my mother's age is 45, alright, or my mother is 45 years old. You shouldn't use them both. Okay, that is an error. Yes. Now, second one, the next one is when you talk about profession. There also we have to use or talk about profession with the help of am, is, are, was or were. Now Santosh, can you ask me about some question about profession?
What's your profession?
Yes, what is
Your
your
profession.
profession? Again, he has made use of is. What is your profession? Alright, if you were to answer that, Santosh, what would be your answer? What is your profession?
I am learning spoken English.
But that is not profession, no, that is what you are doing. It's an action, profession. Just imagine, okay, we know you are student, but imagine.
I am a lawyer.
Very nice. I am a lawyer. That is a profession. Okay. So my cousin is a government employee. Alright. Or my uncle. My uncle is a police officer. Alright. My father is a farmer. So anything, any profession like that we can mention, but we have to make use of any of these verbs. The next one is hobbies. When you talk about hobbies, there also without this be form, we cannot describe our hobbies. Do you know what is a hobby?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What do we mean by hobby?
What we do frequently.
When we are free.
Right. What you do when you are free.
Free.
So for time pass, for relaxation, whatever you do, that is called a hobby. And then, so when you want to ask somebody's hobbies, there also we can make use of this. Okay. What is your hobby?
My hobby is playing cricket.
Right. What is your friend's hobby?
They are playing chess.
What is your friend's hobby?
Friends hobby mean
I'm not asking what are they doing. What is your friend's hobby?
playing chess.
So make a sentence.
My
My
friend's
friend's
hobby.
hobby hobbies are
playing chess, reading
playing
books.
chess and reading books. Very nice. So when you say no, hobbies means plural, and then you are making use of are. When you mention are, at least 2 hobbies you have to write. But when you say hobby, which is singular, then we say is, then we have to mention only one hobby. So with are, 2 hobbies, with is one hobby, and then singular and plural, that we have to remember. This is singular, this is singular, this is plural in the present. This is past, alright, and singular, this is past and plural. So then we have to make remember what is present and past, and at the same time which is singular and which is plural. So this is hobby.
No doubt, madam.
Yes.
What is the difference between hobby and habit? So somebody says hobbies like a habit.
Okay. All right. What do you think is now? Mahinder said, hobby is something which we do when we are free, when we have some free time. All right. What is called a habit? What is a habit?
We do always.
We do always. Very nice. So habit is something which we do always or regularly as a habit, and then hobby is only when we are free. Yes. Now, brushing teeth before going to bed at night, is it a hobby or a habit? It's a habit. Some people have that habit, some people don't have habit. Now, drinking coffee or having tea, which is hobby or a habit?
Habit.
It's a habit. Some people have coffee, some people want to drink tea. So all these which we do regularly, it will have no time. It is not when we are free or when we are busy. It is a habit, we do it. So such things are habit. So then these are only the hobbies. In free time, when you are free, then you do it. So name, age, qualification, profession, hobbies. Alright, and next one is ambition. So when you talk about your ambition, there also we have to make use of this be form. Santosh, what is your ambition?
My ambition is to become a government employee.
Correct. My ambition is to become a government employee. Right. Mahinder, what is yours?
My ambition is to become a police officer.
Yes, my ambition is to become a police officer. So these are the ambitions. So then when we want to talk about all these, then we have to make use of this am, is, are, was and were in the present or past. Now the other usage of this am, is, are, was, were is when we want to describe something. When you describe something, yes, you tell, you give some more information about something. There also we have to make use of these am, is, are and was, were. Now, what is the color of this duster?
Orange.
Complete sentence.
This the duster has orange color.
Now you are describing the color, and the verbs are only option is this. So then the duster
Is
is
orange color.
right. So when you say the duster is orange, then see, to describe the duster we have made use of this is like that. When you look at a plant and then you want to say,
The plant is green.
right, the plant is green. Okay, alright. If you look at a person, when you look at a person, you will understand the height of the person. And what will you say?
He is tall.
Right, he is tall, or
He was tall. Sorry, he is short.
right, he is short. And then what else? So then describe means you can talk about the height, you can talk about thin, fat, you can talk about fair, you can talk about the complexion, alright, like this. So when we see something and how it appears to us, then you enter a room and it is only this much, and you would say,
The room is very narrow.
right, the room is very small or the room is very narrow. If it happens to be like this, then you say, oh, the room is big. The room is big. When the roads are when the roads are all dirty with lot of paper, and then they don't sweep it, and it's the
The road is
roads
clumsy.
the roads
Are clumsy.
right. So now you are saying roads. Road becomes plural, and then you say the roads are dirty. So that is how we describe things. When we talk about the mental state, okay, or the state of mind, when we talk about the state of mind of a person, there also we have to make use of these verbs am, is, are, was or were. For example, you get your results and then you see that you have passed. Then how is your state of mind? How is your mental state?
I am very happy.
Right, then you are very happy. You are happy. Suppose your friend doesn't pass, then what will what will be his state of mind?
He is in depression.
He is in depression or he is
Depressed.
depressed. Then he will be in a depressed condition. He will be in a depressed state of mind. You don't reach home, it is already 11 o'clock. What happens to your parents? They are waiting for you. You are not calling them also. Then what will you say? Then they are
Tense.
tensed. They are worried. Yes. So all these are the state of mind. So worried, tensed, excited, happy, sad, angry, hungry, all these come under mental state or the state of mind. For some time they are there and then they disappear. But whereas this description, when this is orange, it remains orange. When somebody is tall, the person remains tall. So these descriptions are more permanent than these which are only temporary. You will be happy for a day or two and then you become normal. Somebody will be sad for a day or two and then the also person gets back to the normal life. So these are only the state of mind. Fine. So whenever you talk about all those name, age or any of these category, you have to make use of these verbs. Now you were talking about I am learning. Now with this am, we are making use of this ing. Alright. So now with this am is our was were. If you make use of any ing, then it talks about an action in continuity, an action in progress, or an action which is going on. So this comes under present continuous and past continuous tenses. So when you learn the chapter or when you learn the concept about tenses, it will be taught to you in detail there. Here we are talking about only these things, but this is also one usage in tenses, in continuous tense. It could be present or past. Alright?
Past means instead of am we should
Yes,
use was.
instead of am, because this is am is singular, we will say I was learning. If you are saying they are writing,
They were.
They were
right, they are writing, past tense becomes
They were right.
right. So in the place of this are, we can say were and then we say that they were writing. So combination of am is are and ing is tenses. Otherwise we talk about or we use this be form in different ways. Alright, have you understood this? This am is are. Now we have now discussed only positive sentences. We can also make negative sentences with these am is are was were. So to make them into a negative, we just have to add a not. All of them take a not and with the help of this not we convert them into negative. So am is, am not, is
not,
are
not, was, were not, were
right.
not.
And in spoken English we make use of short forms also. Okay. So short forms are like this. So full forms are common in written English and these short forms are common in spoken English. But then am not becomes ain't, ain't. This is isn't. This is
Aren't.
aren't. Right. So you have to try and pronounce it correctly. This R has to be silent and we say aren't. This is wasn't and again no weren't. Alright, weren't is not accepted in standard English. Think R is silent and weren't. So aren't, weren't, ain't, isn't, wasn't and weren't. Okay. So yesterday you were at home. Yesterday you were at home but your brother dash at home.
Wasn't.
Yes, yesterday I was at home, but my brother wasn't at home. Yes, all right. Then he is a doctor. He isn't
A lawyer.
a lawyer. Very nice. He is a doctor. He isn't a lawyer. All right. Yes, I ain't sleeping. Then what can you say when you say I ain't sleeping? Then
I am reading.
right, I am reading. So somebody thinks you are sleeping, but so no, I ain't sleeping. I am reading. Yes, they were out. They dash at home.
They weren't at
They weren't at
at
home.
home.
So they had gone out, they weren't at home. So like this, we can make use of them in the negatives also. Similar present tense and past tense, they refer to. Yes,
I am a student. I
Yeah.
ain't a student.
yes,
Well, I am a student now.
right.
But
I ain't a student now.
uh,
Yes, if you want to say past, I wasn't a student. I wasn't a student last year. I wasn't a student last month. Only just now I have joined and I have become a student now. So then we can say negative. Alright. So then for questions. Now, so we have seen the positive sentences and then negatives we are making with the help of this knot. Now we can make use of these verbs for asking questions also. For asking questions, we have to start with am, is, are, was, were. Then we have to write the subject I, we, you, they, he, she, it, and here we can use other words. Other words here means you can talk about name and age and profession, qualification, whatever we can use with the be form, then we can make use of them in this place of other words. For example, am I correct?
Yes, you are correct.
Right. So when I want to ask somebody, am I correct? Then somebody will say, yes, you are correct. Now we can answer in short form also. Am I correct? Yes, you are. Otherwise, no,
No, you
no,
are not.
you are not, or no, you aren't.
Ma'am,
Similarly,
is it does mean same?
it means the same
Same.
thing. So am I correct? Yes, you are. No, you aren't. Right. Now, can you start? Make one question with is. Is he your roommate?
yes,
Hmm.
is.
Right. Yes, he is. No.
He is not.
Right. No, he's not. Are they twins?
Yes,
Yes, they are.
they are
Yes,
twins.
they are twins.
No.
Full answer. This is full answer. Yes, they are twins. Short answers will be
Yes,
yes,
they
they are. Very nice. Then, was he in the library?
Yes, he was.
Right. Yes, he was in the library. Full answer. Yes, he was is the short answer. Okay. And then, were you late for the
Yes.
class?
Yes,
Yes, I
was late.
Right? No,
No,
I wasn't.
wasn't.
Alright, so this is briefly some information about the am, is, are, was and were. Alright, if you again want something more, then you can go through any book, and when you are reading, then you should be careful where the be form is used and what all can be used after that. Thank you.
Now, listen to two friends discussing some important issue.
Good afternoon, Varsha.
Good afternoon, Mansi.
Varsha, let us talk about ragging.
Sure.
Can you tell our viewers what you think ragging is?
Ragging, according to me, is a way to weaken a person's physical and mental confidence and to pull his spirit down.
This means that when a person rags you, they are trying to make you feel less important than you actually are. And when they do this, they try to force you to obey or listen to them when it is really not needed.
True. And we see ragging happening in various places, right?
That's true. When we think of ragging, we automatically think about educational institutions. That
Exactly.
means ragging that happens in colleges. But the fact of the matter is that ragging happens absolutely everywhere. It happens in schools, it happens in office places like office premises, it even happens in public areas or public spaces like parks or malls or even the market.
True. And what I think is the main reason for ragging is one where your seniors are trying to show or express the power or authority over the juniors. Ante, this happens because of inferiority complex or an attitude of backlash.
Inferiority complex, what is that?
Inferiority complex is the person who is ragging. It could be a male or a female. It could be a boy or a girl. The person who is ragging may sometimes feel less of themselves. So, they mentally compare. I am not as better as them. They try to compare and compete with others. They feel they are not able to match up to somebody else's level. That is only an emotional state. It is only a feeling. Though not true, it is just a feeling. They get this feeling and that will start developing into an inferiority complex. And they are not able to deal with this. just to compensate this feeling and to cover this up, they take it out in the form of ragging. An attitude of backlash is doing something on others what you have experienced. For example, I am the victim of ragging. I have been ragged and I have not been able to deal with my emotions. I have not been able to fight and get over my emotional state since then. So, because of my emotional state, I tend to rag my juniors as well.
So you are doing to them what happened to you because you could not face your emotions, correct?
Exactly, because of my emotional state, and just to make me feel okay, I am ragging the other students as well. That, I think, are the main reasons behind ragging.
That's true, I agree. Now that we have seen what causes ragging, we should also discuss the solutions.
True.
First of all, before going to solutions, I think it is very important that each and every one of us knows our rights. I should know what my rights are, I should know what your rights are. And apart from that, we should also know about each other's limits. Ante, nenu entavaraku maatadagalanu. How much am I allowed to speak? And also, how much can you tolerate? This is important to know. Next, many people that face ragging are not telling their parents of the situations.
Exactly.
Our parents should always be aware of whatever we are facing. Suppose I am being ragged and I want to tell someone who I know. They tell my parents, your daughter is being ragged. If I don't tell my parents what I am going through, they will be thinking, oh, she is very happy, there's nothing happening to her. But suddenly they will be shocked one day if I tell them that I was being ragged. That's not good. All of us should tell our parents and keep them involved in the situation.
Absolutely. And I think, along with informing the parents, when we know that we are being ragged, it is very, very important that we report to the authorities immediately. Instead of overlooking it, instead of letting it go, I think we should bring it to the notice of the authorities immediately, yes?
Yes.
And apart from this, ragging has been taken as an equivalent of a serious crime, and it is a punishable offence. There are various regulatory authorities that have taken up measures to put a stop to such ragging in various fields, not only in schools, colleges and other institutions, every other place. Yes?
That's true. And one good thing to feel, all of us should think about it, is that the act of ragging is not only the victim's fight.
Exactly.
This means that it is not only the victim who has to fight against ragging. Ragging అసలు ఎందుకు జరుగుతుంది? మనలో మానవత్వం తగ్గింది. So the best way to fight against ragging is to be as human as possible with each other. So if we see somebody else being ragged, we should not think, ante vallaki jarugutundi nakenti. That is wrong. We should not think like that. We are all fellow human beings, and it is our responsibility to help anyone who is facing ragging around us.
Exactly. So let us be aware, let us be responsible for ourselves, for each other and for everybody else also.
Let us listen to a story.
This story is very touching and it really touched my heart. It really made me think how our behavior and how our attitude can reflect the thinking and actions of the younger generation also. The title of the story is The Wooden Bowl. The story goes like this. A frail old man went to live with his son, daughter-in-law and 4-year-old grandson. The old man's hand trembled, his eyesight was blurred, and his step faltered. The family ate together at night at the dinner table, but the old man's shaky hands and failing sight made eating rather difficult for him. Peas rolled off his spoon onto the floor. When he grasped the glass, often the milk spilled on the tablecloth. The son and daughter-in-law became irritated with the mess. "We must do something about the old man," said the son. I have had enough of his spilt milk, noisy eating, and food on the floor, said the wife. So the husband and wife set a small table in the corner. There, grandfather ate alone, while the rest of the family enjoyed dinner at the dinner table. Since grandfather had broken a dish or two, his food was served in a wooden bowl. Sometimes, when the family glanced in grandfather's direction, he had a tear in his eyes as he ate alone. Still, the only words the couple had for him were sharp admonitions when he dropped a fork or spilled food. The 4-year-old watched it all in silence. One evening, before supper, the father noticed his son playing with wood scraps on the floor. He asked the child sweetly, "What are you making?" Just as sweetly, the boy replied, "Oh, I'm making a little bowl for you and Mama to eat your food from when I grow up." The 4-year-old smiled and went back to his work. The words struck the parents so heavily that they became speechless. Then tears started strewing down their cheeks. Though no word was spoken, both knew what had to be done. That evening, the son took his father's hand and gently led him back to the family table. From that day, they didn't bother whether the milk spilled or whether the tablecloth was soiled or fork had been dropped. They served him food lovingly and helped him eat it. The little boy watched all this and smiled again. So, my dear friends, from this story, we understand that old age is inevitable. One day, all of us have to get old, and all of us know that children learn from us. They repeat or they do what they see. So, if we don't treat our parents lovingly, affectionately, we may also not be treated the way we want to. So, to give them good values and then to show them how they should behave, we have to take care of our parents. We have to be very kind, affectionate, and patient towards them. Then, the same kind of behavior we can expect from our children also. Thank you.
Now, listen to this parable and try to find out the language elements.
Today, let us listen to a parable.
Now, this particular parable, we must have heard many times when we were children, but I think we should recollect it once more because there is a wonderful lesson behind the story. Once upon a time, in the summer, there was a crow. The crow was very, very thirsty. It tried to search for water in rivers and lakes, but it was not able to do so because everything had dried up in the heat. So as it was flying around, it came across a small earthen pot. It sat on the brim of the pot and noticed that there was a little bit of water at the bottom of the pot. It tried to reach for it. It tried to bend and try to drink the water, but it was unable to because the water was so low, it could not reach it. It tried to reach for the water, but it was unable to. But the crow did not lose its conviction. It wanted to drink the water because it was so thirsty. But how will it reach? How will the water come up? The crow started thinking. Then a wonderful idea struck the crow. It found a few small stones around near the river. So it went, took those stones and threw the stones into the pot one by one. As the stones went to the bottom of the pot, the water started coming up. So it did that until it was able to reach the water. And once the water was close enough, the crow drank the water, quenched its thirst and flew away happily. So the moral of the story is, if there is a will, there is a way.
Very well said, Manasi. And you are right. We all have heard this story right from our grandmothers to our mothers to our friends and even in our schools also. The only thing we need to remember is when we have the conviction, when we have the strong will to do something, to pursue something, we will definitely find a way because we are very much focused on the target.
Yes.
That is exactly how you narrated.
That's exactly what the crow did.
True.
So I hope we learned something good from this very old story. So something new from something old. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.